Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please rise for the graduating class of 2009. President Wharton, the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology Faculty Chairman, Dr. David Boyles, has installed the ceremonial mace. Please lead the processional of faculty and platform guests. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 160th commencement of the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology. As we convene this commencement, I ask you to remain standing for the presentation of the colors by the ROTC Color Guard. Color Guard, please present the colors. Please be seated. Good morning once again. I ask every one of you to remember School of Mines students and alumni and all other Americans who are deployed in Iraq, Afghanistan, and in other troubled parts of our world. We are pleased and very proud to have 3 veterans graduating today. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce the 18th President of South Dakota School of Mines and Technology, Dr. Robert A. Wharton, who will conduct today's ceremony. Please welcome President Robert A. Wharton.
Thank you, Dr. Gus. Today we are gathered to recognize those who are about to join the ranks of the proud alumni of this university. Today, they become the scientists, engineers, visionaries, and leaders who will invent tomorrow. We will also honor 5 School of Mines graduates with distinguished alumni awards to recognize their outstanding contributions to their professional and public pursuits. Their accomplishments bring honor and recognition to themselves, to our institution, and to the state of South Dakota. You can find more information about each of our featured guests in the commencement program. While they won't appear on the stage, we are also joined by the families and friends of our graduates. These graduates would not be here today if you did not support them during their college careers. Your commitment to helping these students succeed is well known and much appreciated. Thank you for all you've done to make today possible. Let's give a round of applause. It is now my pleasure to introduce the representative of the senior class, Ms. Lisa Robinson. Ms. Robinson from Gettysburg, South Dakota, is a candidate for a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. During her time at the School of Mines, she has been active in a number of organizations, including the American Society of Mechanical Engineers, Pi Eta Sigma, Tau Beta Pi, Mechanical Engineering Student Advisory Board, Alpha Omega Epsilon, and many more. Ms. Robinson has also been recognized as a South Dakota Space Scholar for her work on the School of Mines ASME student design team that recently competed at the international competition. In 2008 and 2009, she was recognized as the District C Outstanding Student Member of ASME. Upon graduation, Ms. Robinson plans to begin her career as a mechanical engineer.
Good morning and welcome, graduates, faculty, family, and friends. The road leading up to today has been an arduous one, and anyone graduating won't deny that. We've all come to recognize the valuable traditions here at the School of Mines. Each year brings out different memories, and I'd like to share some of these memories with you. I've entitled my speech, M-Day Through Our Eyes. Freshman year. I can still remember the first time that I was handed this little green and yellow beanie. And I remember thinking, how in the world am I going to live down wearing this thing in public? But I decided to try it out, at least for a day or two, to say that I wore it. The most amazing thing happened the next day when I headed off to class. Almost all of the frosh wore their beanies. They were beanies decorated with glitter, fur, paint, and I even saw a few motorized propellers. The next few weeks leading up to my first M week were exciting, learning long-standing school songs and traditions. On M Day, everyone from seniors to frosh are brought together. From climbing M Hill and throwing people in the mud pit to singing about a big wheel. These experiences make School of Mines unique and give the students a wonderful sense of school spirit. The middle years we spend at School of Mines, however many each person takes, are spent looking forward to sharing the spirit of M-Day with the frosh. These years are also about climbing. Just as we climb M-Hill, we climb our way through coursework. As we teach the frosh songs and traditions, we reinforce our belief in surviving the School of Mines. I know that each year I witness the seniors walk around campus with their senior hats. It inspired me to finish my degree. Then, finally, it happens. You are a senior. Suddenly, the sky seems bluer, the birds sing louder, and you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Graduation. We count down the months, days, even minutes to this very moment. For me, this last semester has been bittersweet, as I have lamented my last M-Day, my last intramural game, and my last test. Maybe not so much the test. I remember when I first got this senior hat. Now, this hat is a replica of mining hats used in the late 1800s and early 1900s, where the leather strip and brim were used to attach a carbide lamp. This hat is a cultural symbol and represents the history of our school. We are proud to wear these hats just as we are proud to graduate. Leading up to M-Day, seniors wear their hats around campus, generating excitement for the upcoming celebration. Starting with 7 a.m. breakfast at the hall, M-Day for seniors continues with a march to M Hill, singing school songs with the frosh, having fun in the mud pit at the picnic, and, of course, the long climb up the hill. Now, we've all seen the size of M Hill, and let's be honest, it is a big hill to climb. But this is a tradition that truly never dies. Along with students, alums, parents, faculty, and friends, all hike together to watch the whitewashing of the plaques. It's really something. If you look at pictures from M-Day through our eyes, they will tell a story. It's a story of the traditions we've shared for many years and the opportunity to continue them in the future. I have only seen a handful of M-Days, and I have a faint idea of what they used to be like 30 years ago. But you can bet that I'll be making my way up that hill 30 years from now, thinking back to the memories I've just shared with you. Before I close, I'd like to thank some of the people who have helped us all along the way. Thank you to all of our families for your support, both financial and otherwise. Thank you to the professors, faculty, and staff for all of your work and dedication to our learning experience. Thank you for all of your attendance today. And finally, I would like to congratulate the class of 2009. Hats off to you.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson, for your inspirational words. I now wish to present Mr. Lyndon Blue, who will give the commencement address. Mr. Blue, your leadership at General Atomics has been vital in making the company a world leader in nuclear technologies. Harnessing the power of this energy for the benefit of mankind, General Atomics is a vital resource in developing high-technology systems ranging from modular helium-cooled nuclear power reactors and remotely operated surveillance aircraft to airborne sensors, medical diagnostic products, and advanced electric, electronic, wireless, and laser technologies. Your dedication to industry progress is also evident in your leadership positions with Cordillera Corporation and Spectrum Aeronautical. Ever cognizant of the importance of service and leadership, you have served the corporate, scientific, political, and philanthropic communities with continuous dedication. The South Dakota School of Mines and Technology is pleased to recognize your leadership in technology and your community with the awarding of the degree of Doctorate of Science, amicus curiae. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the action of the Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon you, Lyndon S. Blue, the honorary degree, Doctor of Science, with all the rights, privileges, and honors, as well as the responsibilities thereto appertaining. Mr. Blue.
President Wharton and faculty, graduates, truly I'm overwhelmed by this. And I must say that I don't believe I'm worthy of this honor, but I will accept it for the 6,000 General Atomics employees that you mentioned who work every day to make a more peaceful world and save lives. And that's something that we're all very proud of. And I'm enormously proud of being here with the people who've worked endlessly for these degrees, and all I've done is work a little bit in the School of Hard Knocks. But I'm humbled by that. It's truly an enormous privilege to be talking to graduates. You're about to be graduates anyway. After all, I know what you put in over the years, and to the parents who've supported you and through all this, it's a great day. I saw just a few minutes ago Lisa getting her picture taken with her family, and it was a wonderful, inspiring picture, because here is this ideal of academic accomplishment with the family that supported, and it was just terrific. I felt when you talked, Lisa, that I really should have your green beanie on today rather than this. But all of you graduates have similar stories, and I salute you for your accomplishment. You're entering, obviously, in a world that's, let's say, very interesting, to say the least. We have a war going on, or a couple wars. We have a difficult economy. In a word, the world is replete with black swans. What are black swans? Well, black swans are the anomaly. There's a wonderful book entitled Black Swan, written by Nassim Taleb, that I would recommend to all the graduates, because you've studied hard and you've learned a great deal, but your education is just beginning. And one of the things, if you haven't read Black Swan, I would urge you to. Anybody here who's read Black Swan? Well, I'm not surprised at all. You bet. Well, again, black swans represent the anomalies. World War II was an anomaly. 9/12 was an anomaly. Everybody assumes that all swans are white until they discover suddenly that there are black swans in Australia. And the black swans are the unexpected. And Nassim Taleb is a Lebanese who grew up at a time when Lebanon was the flower of the Middle East. Stability, education, culture, a thriving business community, and then one day everything changed. It changed in the fashion of discovering black swans. And so those are among the things that you're going to have to be looking out for and being aware of as you go through life. You've come to an enormous milestone, and now you go out in the real world and deal, let's hope not too frequently, with black swans, but you still must be aware of them. When I think of the world you're going into, there's plenty of good news, and there's some not such good news, and I'll talk a little bit about both of them. The good news is that in the pre-industrial economies, the economies grew at about 1% a year, and that meant that standards of living doubled about every 72 years. From the Industrial Revolution on, in industrial societies, economies tend to grow at 4% per year, and that means that the growth is 4 times greater, and in only 18 years, standards of living can double. Hopefully, if you don't have too many black swans. And that's a tremendously hopeful thing for the entire world, because that combines with the knowledge that through your knowledge, the resources of the world, there is the potential for unlimited wealth in this country. And I'm not talking about manifestations of wealth like Rolls Royces and mink coats. I'm talking about food and shelter and health and economic stability. And those things can sweep the world to the extent that they are increasingly doing so. Then you have some of the progress that's been going on in the world, such as that in just the last 30 years, the energy efficiency, the output per unit of GDP from an energy standpoint is twice as efficient as it was only 30 years ago. People decry the use of energy, but the truth is that our free enterprise system here has produced more for the United States and for the world than ever before, and it's done it more energy efficiently. And I have to tell you, that wasn't because of a government mandate. That was because of a free enterprise system. And I think of my dad. He sort of gave me my first awareness of energy. He said, he was always telling me to shut the door and turn out the lights. Well, shut the door because I was brought up in Colorado, and sometimes it gets cold in the winter. He didn't want to heat the outdoors. It wasn't because the government told him that he should conserve energy. It was because he paid the gas bill and he paid the electric bill. And that is what free individuals in a free economy can do in terms of environmental efficiency, productive efficiency, and again, it lays the potential for spreading the kind of standard of living that we have in this country all over the world, and that's a good thing, and increasing our standard of living by a factor of 4 every 70 years or so. That's really significant, and that's the kind of economy that you all are going out into. Now, I gotta add a few things that might be challenging. It used to be that the United States had an economy that nobody could challenge, and we were far above the world and the rest of the world in almost every respect. Well, that's changing. The world is flat, as Tom Friedman has said increasingly, because information goes throughout the globe at the speed of light now. And whereas we had educational institutions unrivaled any place in the world, now there are very fine educational institutions literally all over the world, and they have the benefit of this proliferation of information at the speed of light. And you could say, well, that's all good news. What's challenging about that? Well, the challenging part is that there are a lot of Chinese and a lot of Indians who are willing to work for about 1/10 what I trust you all expect to get out there in the employment market. Well, that's a very good and healthy thing for the world, but it is certainly challenging. And just as there's been a flattening, I have to tell you there's one part that is very, very unique still to the United States, and that is the freedoms that you have, the legacy of freedom that you are going to be able to take advantage of that very few places in the world have. And that legacy of freedom allows you to be more productive. And that means that hopefully you can continue to earn higher wages than any other place in the world. We also have an infrastructure that is unequaled. Why is our infrastructure unequaled? Well, because the people who deliver that infrastructure make a profit. It's the free enterprise system, and it is that profit motive that is not evil, that is in fact the source of progress throughout the world. Now, obviously, I may be a little hard over on this. Why am I such a believer in our system? Well, when I was only 3 years after graduation, when I was about 25, I lost my freedom. I lost it for a brief time, and when I was thinking about the introduction, I was glad you didn't know everything. But I ended up in a Cuban jail. And not only had I lost my freedom, and that's a pretty awful feeling when you've had all the freedom so recently of an academic environment, when you've known if you worked hard and lived a clean life, things would be good, and then along comes a black swan that you end up in jail. And in that particular case, I came within 10 days of being executed. Well, at age 25, I wasn't ready to, I thought I was too young to die, and still think I am too young to die, but the point is, these things can and do happen, and that's why freedom is so terribly important to me. And as we see freedoms threatened, perhaps at this time more than any other, it's important to reflect on that. And it's the this gets into the negatives. We're all very proud of our technical prowess, our weapons, and certainly General Atomics contributes particularly through the Predator, which is a very advanced weapon system. But the reality is that the bad guys have better weapons than we do. How can I say that? Well, suicide bombers, IEDs, car bombs are the most effective weapons out there in the world today. And that is a very, very serious problem to deal with. We saw in 9/11 where on the order of $1 trillion of damage was done to the world economy for only about $200,000 worth of expenditure. That's a destructive gearing of 5 million to 1. That is a very, very serious problem. And it matters how we organize ourselves to defeat that and to make sure that our economic system is transcendent above some of the negative factors out there. And I think of our economic system sort of comparing the way a lot of economic systems work to the abacus as compared to Windows in computers. And if you want to live a life of the abacus, well, you can do that. But in this world, if you want to be productive, you really want to have an operating system that's akin to Windows. And I believe that our operating system is an operating system based on freedom and free enterprise, and it's this legacy that was handed down by our founding fathers, and who so many graduates of this university have fought for, and hopefully you won't have to fight directly for, but it's said the price of liberty is eternal vigilance, and that's certainly more true today than perhaps ever before in history. And so when you look at this and when you look at the operating system, another book that I would recommend to you is The Road to Serfdom by Friedrich Hayek. And I'd ask again, how many people have read Road to Serfdom? Well, not surprising. I went to a respectable university, thought I had a good education, but it wasn't until I was 50 years old that I read The Road to Serfdom. And The Road to Serfdom talks about the downward spiral of the economy of the abacus, if you will, which is manifest in socialism, and how that operating system leads people to serfdom, to slavery, and that's the antithesis of the kind of free system that you inherit and you are able to take advantage of, and hopefully will be the root of your prosperity and your productivity as you go through life. None of us like to think about war, but as Aristotle said, sometimes it's essential to fight wars so that we may live in peace, and that's what's going on right now. And it's terribly important, I think, that as a part of your continuing education, you read Taleb and you read Hayek, and though you will also be reading your technical journals and continually growing your technical capabilities, you'll also be broadening and understand the unique heritage that you have in this system, how dear it is, and how much hopefully you can do in your lives to keep it going. And I would end by saying I hope that my remarks haven't been discouraging to you. Churchill said a pessimist is somebody who sees the difficulty in every opportunity, and an optimist is somebody who sees the opportunity in every difficulty. You'll have plenty of difficulties out there, but they are replete with opportunities, made all the more rich by this tremendous education that you've had here at this great university. And so I salute you all. I know that you're grateful to the university, to your professors, to the institutions, to your families, but also I would admonish you to be very grateful to the Founding Fathers that laid the foundation that makes this such a unique and wonderful country. Thank you.
Thank you, Lyndon. That was excellent. Appreciate it. We now have the honor of awarding a posthumous tribute. Bill Arbogast passed away on November 28, 2009, at the age of 58. The world lost one of the great minds in the area of friction stir processing, and the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology lost a true friend. One of its most active researchers, Bill was an ardent advocate for graduate education and undergraduate research. His passing is a tremendous loss to his profession and to campus. In 2001, Bill was appointed as director of the Advanced Materials Processing and Joining Laboratory, we refer to as AMP. He also became director of the National Science Foundation's Multi-University Industry University Cooperative Research Center for Friction Stir Processing when the center was established in 2004. He served as the director of the AMP Lab and the Center for Friction Stir Processing until his death. During his career, Bill published more than 50 papers in national and international journals and was invited to present his research on 4 continents. He held 6 patents and received millions of dollars in research funding related to friction stir processing, including the School of Mines' new Repair, Refurbish, and Return to Service Applied Research Center, or R3S, which he directed. R3S will develop, certify, and implement innovative methods to refurbish and return to service vital military equipment. His procedures for running a multi-university IUCRC led the National Science Foundation to invite him to write a book on the topic so that all of these centers nationwide could benefit from his ideas. The National Science Foundation will present a memorial to Bill during the annual Center Directors meeting in January of 2010. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the action of the Board of Regents, I recommend the posthumous awarding of the honorary degree Doctor of Science to William Arbogast. Receiving his diploma on behalf of the family is Dr. Bharat Jasti. The South Dakota School of Mines and Technology operates under the authority of the South Dakota Board of Regents. This morning, we are pleased that Regent Melanie Jeppesen is with us to represent the board. Melanie is a 2009 graduate of the School of Mines. Please join me in welcoming Regent Jeppesen.
Thank you, Dr. Wharton. Graduates of the fall class of 2009. Several years ago, you made a conscious decision to pursue a college degree. As freshmen in high school, or possibly before that, you most likely chose a rigorous curriculum to follow throughout school to prepare for your future. I commend you all for that decision. I commend your parents for helping to push you to achieve the wonderful accomplishment of today, and thank them for all of their support in helping to bring you to this point in your life. I look forward to hearing about the wonderful things that you will go on to do, to create, to invent, and to lead in the future. This is a wonderful opportunity and a great time to become scientists and engineers within your respective fields. A word I hear most often and almost on a daily basis in my business in the financial services industry is stewardship. Some of you might be surprised by that, but yes, indeed, it is stewardship that I hear quite often. Stewardship is the responsibility to manage the resources that you have been entrusted with great care. As graduates of the School of Mines and South Dakota School of Mines and Technology, you are given a burden of care, a call to duty, and the responsibility of being a good steward of the talents, treasures, and the resources that you have been entrusted with. As science and engineers, you enter this world with the knowledge to make the world a better place. In the 7 months since my own commencement from the School of Mines, it has become remarkably obvious to me that the only thing that you can expect in this world to be constant is change. Kevin Cashman, the author of Awakening the Leader Within, once wrote, "We have to change. It is part of the price of admission of life. Every moment our atoms are changing, our thoughts are changing, our emotions are changing, our relationships, our marketplace, our finances. Change is endless, and it is constant." Your marching orders are clear today. Go forth and be good stewards of your abilities, and do it with no fear of hesitation of the changes that lie in front of you. Above all else, value your education and remember those around you that made this day a possibility. On behalf of the South Dakota Board of Regents and the state of South Dakota, I congratulate you on this outstanding achievement. And now, by the authority vested in me by the Constitution of the state of South Dakota, I hereby delegate Dr. Robert A. Wharton the right to confer degrees and diplomas with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto.
Thank you, Regent Jeppesen. Dr. Patricia Mann, Vice President for Student Affairs and Dean of Students, will present the degree candidates. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Science degrees please rise? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the South Dakota Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon you the degree Bachelor of Science, with all the rights, privileges, and honors, as well as the obligations and responsibilities thereto appertaining.
Good morning. You can sit down until you're called forward, please. And I shall read the names only of those degree candidates who are present this morning. Those who were unable to attend, but whose names are listed in the commencement program, will be awarded their diplomas in absentia. We welcome and encourage your applause for each graduate, but that we ask that you refrain from using air horns and other noisemakers out of respect to our graduates, their families, and our visitors. As the graduates line up to receive their diplomas, families and guests are reminded that they are invited to come to the front to take pictures as the graduates shake hands with the president and march across the stage. Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering please come to receive your diplomas and be congratulated by Dr. Rob Winter, Head of the Department of Chemical and Biological Engineering, and Dr. Dwayne Hernser, Interim Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Bryant Keith Blankenship. Cody Michael Fredrickson, summa cum laude. Brent Peter Swisher, summa cum laude. Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering please come forward to receive your diplomas and be congratulated by Dr. Henry Mott, Chair of the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering, and Dr. Hernser. Zachariah Keeney. Kazuto Kunishige, magna cum laude. Eric Paul Thompson. Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Environmental Engineering please come forward to receive your diplomas and be congratulated by Dr. Mott and Dr. Hernser. James Carl Goodsell. Janelle Olivia Lewis, magna cum laude. Teal Michelle Tompkins, magna cum laude. Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering please come forward to receive your diplomas and be congratulated by Dr. Michael Batchelder, Chair of the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering, and Dr. Hernser. Andrew Travis McGuire. Jason Miller. Jason Eugene Pajorley. Benjamin William Swan. Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering please come forward to receive your diplomas and be congratulated by Dr. Batchelder and Dr. Hernser. Christopher Todd Boltzma, magna cum laude. Shane Anthony Heyer, summa cum laude. Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Computer Science please come forward to receive your diplomas and be congratulated by Dr. Kyle Riley, Chair of the Department of Mathematics and Computer Science, and Dr. Hernser. Caleb Christian Sprunk. Nick Howard Walker. Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Geological Engineering please come forward to receive your diplomas and be congratulated by Dr. Mary Beth Price, Chair of the Department of Geology and Geological Engineering, and Dr. Hernser. Evan Keffler, summa cum laude. Clifford Cordis Kling. Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Geology please come forward to receive your diplomas and be congratulated by Dr. Price and Dean Hernser. Eric Adam Hofnagel. Jason Julius Korf. Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Industrial Engineering please come forward to receive your diplomas and be congratulated by Dr. Stuart Kellogg, Head of the Department of Industrial Engineering, and Dr. Hernser. Tim Dixon. Aaron Timothy Galuza. James Arthur Kenny. Nicole Rose Martin Hugestrat, cum laude. Justin Ruin. Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Interdisciplinary Sciences please come forward to receive your diplomas and be congratulated by Dr. Shirley, Head of the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, and Dr. Hernser. Michael Patrick Dodge. Zachary Maurice Stone, in absentia. Jason Thomas Luzzi. Noel Douglas Palmer. J. Palmer Roberts. Tiffany May Stroshine, cum laude. Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering please come forward to receive your diplomas and be congratulated by Dr. Michael Langerman, Head of the Department of Mechanical Engineering, and Dr. Hernser. Todd Justin Aldrin, summa cum laude. Robert Bond. Seth Charles Burgraff. Austin Jeffrey Burke. Thomas Sheldon Clay. Paul Stephen Cooney. Todd Ross Curtis. Alex Robert Dravitz, cum laude. Matthew Carl Frederick, cum laude. Christopher Douglas George. Michael Adam Haltener. Andrew Lawrence Hartman, magna cum laude. Kyle Richard Kraske, cum laude. Andrea Eleanor Kramer, magna cum laude. Tyler Jeffrey Nichols, cum laude. Trent Casey Odenbaugh. Scott Matthew Quiet, summa cum laude. Lisa K. Robinson. Tyler Wayne Sargent. Isaac Seth Williams. Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Metallurgical Engineering please come forward to receive your diplomas and be congratulated by Dr. John Keller, Head of the Department of Materials and Metallurgical Engineering, and Dr. Hernser. Austin Christopher Nelson. Ashley Elizabeth Vayer Jenkins. Blake Matthew Werning, cum laude. Will the candidate for the degree Bachelor of Science in Mining Engineering please come forward to receive your diploma and be congratulated by Mr. Sashi Kanth, Head of the Department of Mining Engineering and Engineering Management, and Dr. Hernser. Jordan Michael Anderson. That concludes the presentation of the diplomas to the graduating seniors. Our congratulations and best wishes to the class of 2009.
Will the bachelor's degrees recipients please rise? I offer you my personal congratulations and the good wishes on behalf of the School of Mines family. I now give you permission to move the tassel on your mortarboard from the right to the left. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the School of Mines undergraduate class of 2009. You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Master of Science degrees please rise? By the virtue of the authority vested in me by the South Dakota Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon you the degrees specified with all other rights, privileges, and honors, as well as the obligations thereto appertaining, contingent upon the completion of all requirements.
Will the candidates for the degree Master of Science in Biological Engineering please come forward to receive your diploma and be congratulated by the department head, Dr. Langerman, and the Dean of the Graduate Education, Dr. John Helsden. Yogesh Durkar. Will the candidates for the degree Master of Science in Civil Engineering please come forward to receive your diplomas and be congratulated by Department Chair Dr. Mott and Dean Helsden. Eric James Bradner. Michael Jordan DeStigter. Cindy Marie McCutcheon. Will the candidate for the degree Master of Science in Computer Science please come forward to receive your diploma and be congratulated by Department Chair Dr. Riley and Dean Helsden. Lily Say. Will the candidates for the degree Master of Science in Electrical Engineering please come forward to receive your diplomas and be congratulated by Department Chair Dr. Batchelder and Dean Helsden. Rakesh Sita. Ahmad Adel Jithan. Will the candidate for the degree Master of Science in Geology and Geological Engineering please come forward to receive your diploma and be congratulated by Department Chair Dr. Price and Dean Helsden. Lindsay Elizabeth Chaston. Will the candidate for the degree Master of Science in Materials Engineering and Science please come forward to receive your diploma and be congratulated by Program Coordinator Dr. John Keller and Dean Helsden. Shou Shen Hua. Will the candidate for the degree Master of Science in Mechanical Engineering please come forward to receive your diploma and be congratulated by Department Head Dr. Langerman and Dean Helsden. Miles Allen Wickersham. Will the candidate for the degree Master of Science in Paleontology please come forward to receive your diploma and be congratulated by Department Chair Dr. Price and Dean Helsden. Chloe Brancefort.
Will our new master's degree recipients please rise? Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them another round of applause. Thank you. Will the candidate for the Doctor of Philosophy degree please rise? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon you the degree specified with all the rights, privileges, and honors, as well as the obligations and responsibilities thereto appertaining, contingent upon completion of all requirements.
Lori Groven, candidate for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Nanoscience and Nanoengineering, please come forward to receive your degree and be congratulated by Program Coordinator Dr. Steve Smith. Dean Helsden and Dr. Jan Pruszynski, Major Professor for Ms. Groven, will assist in the hooding.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Dr. Lori Groven. Many of our School of Mines alumni pursue excellence in their careers. In doing so, these graduates make outstanding contributions to their professions and communities. In recognition of these accomplishments, the Alumni Association, the Foundation, and the School of Mines are proud to honor this year's Distinguished Alumni Award recipients. Now, the award nominees were evaluated based on their level of professional achievement, evidence of their significant and creative professional activity, their involvement in professional and business organizations, the balancing of their community and professional activities, including service and awards. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Paul Gnurk. Dr. Gnurk is a 1959 mining engineering graduate of the South Dakota School of Mines. He is the past alumni president and current executive vice president of our Alumni Association. He will introduce the recipients of this year's Distinguished Alumni Awards. Please help me welcome Dr. Paul Gnurk.
Thank you, Dr. Wharton. It is indeed a pleasure for me to introduce our distinguished alumni for this year. We have 5 of them. My introduction will be very brief for each one of these. You will find a much more detailed description of their many accomplishments in your blue folder today. The first award will be given to Paul Clare. Paul Clare, would you please come to the podium? Paul Clare graduated from high school in Sioux Falls. Actually, it was when there was only one high school in Sioux Falls at that time, right? And he got his degree in general engineering from the South Dakota School of Mines in 1959. He followed that up with an MBA from the University of Washington in 1966. He entered into a super manufacturing career for some 40 years, beginning initially with the GE nuclear operations and with Kaiser Aluminum, and then towards the end of his career he became president and CEO of Hudson Technologies. 300 employees that did specialty metals, worked all over the world, 49 states, 20 foreign countries. It was a leader in producing complex metal products. One final note, I have to say that in 1955, Paul Clare and I entered the School of Mines as freshmen, and we graduated in 1959. He was my friend and still is for that many years. Paul, congratulations. Let's hear it for him, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. And as we knew him 50 years ago as Gunner. But as he said, I graduated from the School of Mines 50 years ago. So I want all you new graduates to think about the year 2059. Because I have 3 quick predictions I know will be true when you come back here for your 50th anniversary. And I also have 4 words of advice for your career. First, I want to give a quick thanks to the school, Dr. Wharton, and the Alumni Association for giving me this award. I'm truly thankful and humbled to receive this award, and when you look at the accomplishments of the other people who have won this award, not only this year but in past years, you'll realize why I'm so proud and humbled to be included in that group. Another very special thanks I have to give out is to the most important person in my career, and that's my wife Shirley, who is here with me today. Next month we will have our 47th wedding anniversary, and I couldn't have done it without you, and thanks for being such a great mom to our 3 children. Now for my 3 predictions about this class that is just graduating. Number 1 prediction, when you're back here for your 50th anniversary in the year 2059, is that you will be amazed by the change in technology that has gone on during your working career and the opportunities that this has given you during your career. And take that from a guy that carried a slide rule for 4 years here at the School of Mines. My number 2 prediction is that when they introduce someone like me, who is 72 years old, you will no longer think that as old as you do today. And my 3rd prediction is that when you look back on your career at that time, as I am doing as a result of this award, you'll be absolutely amazed at all the things that you end up doing and places you've been, like the day I was in Berlin when the wall went up in 1961. But you also, like me, will be sitting there and wondering, where did 50 years go? It certainly went fast. And then I'd like to give you 4 words of advice to use during your career, and that is, do what is right. Also then, I'd like to congratulate you on your hard-earned degree. God bless you, and Godspeed in your career.
Our next distinguished award goes to Greg Graves. Mr. Graves was not able to attend today, but I will read his introduction, and at a later date, at a convenient time, the Alumni Association and Dr. Wharton will make a personal presentation to him at one of our alumni functions when we see him. Greg Graves received a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering in 1980 from the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology. He received an MBA from Rockhurst College in 1987. In 1980, he began his career with Burns & McDonnell, rose through the rank, became the president of the company's energy group. In 2004, president and CEO of Burns & McDonnell, 3,000 employees, annual fees of $1.2 billion. Well, would I like to also note that in May of 2005, Mr. Graves was our commencement speaker, and he received his honorary doctorate degree. So, folks, if you would give him a good hand, he may be watching or listening on the Internet somewhere out there. Let's hear it for him. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We'll do it sometime this year, right? Very good. The next award goes of our distinguished alumni goes to Dr. Jeremy Lent. Jeremy, would you please come forward? Jeremy was born in Wisconsin Rapids, in Wisconsin, and over a period of time when he was growing up, he ended up with his family in Rapid City, South Dakota, and graduated from high school in Rapid City, South Dakota. He received his Bachelor of Science degree in Electrical Engineering in 1964, a Master of Science degree in 1966, and in 1972 he was awarded a PhD degree from Stanford University. He had an illustrious beginning career for a good number of years, from 1972 through 1984, with our national laboratories, particularly with Lawrence Livermore Laboratory in California and Los Alamos National Laboratory in New Mexico. In 1984, he was one of 5 co-founders of Amtech Corporation, became their Vice President of Research and Development and their Chief Technical Officer. In the year 2000, he became the Executive Vice President, Chief Scientist of Transcor in Albuquerque. He currently holds 16 patents, dozens of publications, papers, reports in the field of electrical engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Dr. Jeremy Lent, our distinguished alumni. I'll get out of here.
Well, we've heard many wise words this morning. I don't have a whole lot to say, except I'm very grateful and humbled by the award. And I'd like to thank and recognize the people that helped me along the way. My parents, my wonderful family, including my wife, Myrna, in the audience, all my colleagues through the years. And it's looking back, it hasn't seemed like it's been this long. And it has been a lot of fun, wonderful ride. If I could only leave you with a few thoughts. One would be that you have it in your power to do anything you want. I mean, it's something that's just built into all of us. We can accomplish things far beyond what we think we can do. So don't hesitate. If you really want to do something or find an opportunity, go for it. The other passing thought is you should act on your instincts, on your hunches. The things that I regret are the things that I didn't do, that I had a thought or a feeling and let it pass and saw an opportunity slip by. So with that, I congratulate you on graduating from this fine school, and I wish you all the best in your careers. Thank you.
The next distinguished alumnus is Dorwin Larson from Centerville, South Dakota, originally from Centerville, South Dakota. Dorwin could not be here today, but his brother Wally Larson is here. Wally is one of our past presidents of the Alumni Association, of course, a graduate of the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology. Wally, would you please come forward? A few words about Dorwin Larson. He graduated in mechanical engineering in 1957. He got his master's degree in mechanical engineering from Bradley University in 1962. He spent 40 years of his career with Caterpillar Company. And for you folks that are maybe in the construction business, ranching business, farming business, Dorwin Larson was responsible for the development of the first hydraulically activated scraper. Before that time, those scrapers for building stock dams and roads and everything were cable operated. He got the original patent on that particular device. 1969, he went to the hydraulic excavator division, and then onwards in 1986 to the Mitsubishi Hydraulic Excavator Design Center of Caterpillar in Japan, became its vice general manager, and he retired in 1996 as managing director and general manager. He holds several patents, of course, and a number of technical papers. Maybe he's watching today on the internet. At least let's give him a good hand, folks, for our.
I guess I can do this. When Dorwin and I were on campus, Professor Jacobson never did figure out which one of us which, so I think it'll work. This is the words from my brother. Thank you for honoring me with this distinguished award. South Dakota School of Mines and Technology shall always have a special place in my heart. I owe a great deal to SDSMT because what I learned at SDSMT was the foundation for my professional success. During my 40-plus years career at Caterpillar, the technical foundation learned at SDSMT was a key in enabling me to establish and lead product development groups that created numerous world-leading products for the rest of the world to follow, always identifying and pursuing the next plateau of excellence. I shared the technical foundation learned at SDSMT by creating and teaching a dynamic product design course throughout the Caterpillar world. That would be Belgium, England, and 12 U.S. plants in Japan. I retired from Caterpillar Mitsubishi in 1996. 7 years later, in 2003, Shin Caterpillar Mitsubishi invited me to return to Kobe, Japan, to teach my design course to young Japanese designers that had not had the opportunity to attend. 40 young Japanese attended the course. I believe that SDSMT professors such as Coyle, Dake, Stensis, and March would have taken great pride in my lecturing as they could see their teachings in action. Please accept my apologies for not being able to physically attend the graduation ceremony and personally accepting this honorary award. Congratulations to you folks that just graduated. You've got the background now. Get with it and go.
Thank you, Wally. That was good. Our final distinguished alumnus today is Merle Sims. And Merle, would you please come forward? Merle Sims is a chemical engineering graduate from our institution in 1973. He has a Master of Business Administration from the University of Pennsylvania, the Wharton School of Business. He's currently president and CEO of Ulrich Medical USA, which is a company that specializes in medical products, including for the spine and so forth. And that company, since under his leadership in the last 3 years, has doubled in size and profits. Previously, he was founder and president of the Providence Group, and the developer principal of aspiring organizations, developer of international innovation processes, vice president of external technology at Bausch & Lomb, and many other executive positions at Monsanto, Wyeth, and DuPont. One of his real attributes in life, really much, is his entrepreneurship and his teaching of people how to become entrepreneurs, to start your own companies, and how to become successful. Merle, it's indeed a pleasure to be one of our distinguished graduates, alumnus. So, folks, let's give him a hand. Thank you.
Dr. Wharton, esteemed faculty and staff, guests, and of course, most important of all today, graduates. I would like to say, first of all, that I'm very humbled, especially being in the presence of such distinguished colleagues here. And it's difficult to even describe how greatly honored I am by this award. Growing up in a farm in eastern South Dakota, this is just about the last place you would expect to be at this point. So this has been very, very special. I want to express my deepest gratitude to the School of Mines for this great honor, and I will cherish it always. I'd like to also take this opportunity to thank a couple members of my family, more specifically my father, who is in attendance today, and my mother, who I believe is watching from a far better place. You see, they both dearly wanted to go to college and were unable to for circumstances beyond their control. And so I watched them as I was growing up work extremely hard to make sure that my brothers and I had this opportunity. And so I know this means a great deal to them, and that makes it extra special to me. I also want to very much thank my wife, Beth. She is my true partner in life. And she's been the bedrock of support for me for many, many years in anything I wanted to do or try. And so I thank you for that. I wanted to give a special thanks to Dr. Larry Simonson for showing great tenacity in getting my biographical information. He finally figured out the secret. He called Beth. And discovered the secret that Beth is the person who makes things happen in our family. So thank you, Larry. I very much appreciate that. I realize I'm one of the last things standing between these graduates and the door and their new lives, and so this is quite an enviable position to be in. But And I know the last thing these graduates probably want to hear is an old guy coming back and pontificating about life. But so I'll try to keep my comments very brief. You know, when you go through an experience like this, you kind of step back and you start reflecting. And I remember something. I was remembering back, and I remember distinctly when I walked the halls of this campus of the School of Mines, that I sensed even before I graduated, and especially after I graduated, that the School of Mines is a very special place. I did my graduate work at another very fine university, and I've worked with some other outstanding universities in this country. But I can say without a doubt that there is just something very unique about the School of Mines. When all of you graduates leave here today, know that you've become part of a very select group. Know that whenever you come in contact with any other graduates from the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology, that there will be a certain unspoken bond between you. And you don't just see this anywhere else you go. One other reflection I had that I want to pass along, I'm from South Dakota, as you heard. And when you're from South Dakota, or at least this general region, and you move away, and you've been away for a while, and you come back and visit, and we've been back many times over the years, you start to recognize that there's a certain element to the culture here in this fine state, and I think it's reflected at the School of Mines. I refer to it as a certain understatedness. South Dakotans are not known for bragging and boasting a great deal, and I don't think you've seen a lot of that at the School of Mines here, even though the people here take a great deal of pride in what they are doing. Just to give you an example, if you lived anywhere else in this country, these would be referred to as the Black Mountains. But here, South Dakotans, we refer to them as the Black Hills. It's just... it really is true. You may not believe it, but you'll see it when you go out. And so, in that spirit, I would encourage you to go forth as graduates with a certain quiet confidence. And I think you'll find that it will serve you well as you go out into the world. You all have done the work and put forth the effort to earn the right to be here today. And I'm going to echo some comments you've already heard, but I hope by this hearing these comments again, you recognize it is the truth we are speaking. You will discover with time that this university has given you the foundation that will allow you to do almost anything you truly desire. Even if you choose to move away from science and engineering, and I'm probably an example of some of that, you will find and you will realize either sooner or later that with that foundation that you've received here, that you are limited really only by your own imagination. So I also want to wish you all the best, and I genuinely look forward to hearing and reading about all your great and many successes in the future. Best of luck to you all. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our presentation of our distinguished alumni. We are very, very proud of our alumni out there and all over the world, some 14,000 of them. We wish we could honor each and every one at a ceremony like this. We're extremely proud. And on behalf of those 14,000 alumni in the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology, we'd like to wish you happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and the best of everything for 2010. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I had to get that.
Well, thank you, Dr. Gnerk, and let's again congratulate our distinguished alumni. Lastly, I invite you to join me one more time in congratulating the class of 2009.
Thank you, Dr. Warden. Thank you, President Warden. And a special thank you to the School of Mines String Ensemble. Thank you also to the Commencement Committee, staff members, and other individuals who contributed to making this event a success. Please note, ladies and gentlemen, there will be ample opportunity for family photographs in the lobby of the theater following the ceremony. We ask you to remain in place, however, until the academic recessional has been completed, and request that our audience stand now and remain standing until the colors have been retired. Thank you for joining us today. ROTC Color Guard, please retire the colors.